Hello and welcome to CEO Nights with Nyimpini. In this podcast, we get up close and personal with some of the most admired leaders, not just in South Africa, but around the world. You get to be a fly on the wall in a relaxed peer-to-peer conversation between two senior leaders outside of the boardroom. Our guests share their life and leadership journeys just like I did in my best-selling book, Take Charge, which inspired CEO Nights. Make sure you grab a copy at your nearest bookshop or listen to the audiobook that is now available on all major platforms. Thanks to Nedbank, our main sponsor, Avis Chauffeur Drive for driving our guests safely and in style, and Heineken Beverages for the drinks. Good evening. By a show of hands, who's been here before? Fantastic. Welcome back. And by now you know the Vulamlomo. Yeah? We don't start until we get the energy. Oh, wow. Yeah, so I'll try again. Good evening.
Good evening.
Come on. That's a Tuesday night one. Let's try again. Good evening and welcome to CEO Nights.
Good evening.
Fantastic. It's great to reconnect and do this again. And I was reflecting on this evening's guest. And the first thing I noticed, of course, leading a big auditing firm or professional services firm, I got to realize how much at CEO Nights we either love accountants or we stuck with them. Because looking back, we've had Yolanda Kuba.
Oh, wow.
We've had Rui from Discam, both chartered accountants. And we also had Ramasela from Zida, also an accountant, chartered accountant. And today we're graced by yet another chartered accountant. But this one is different because he's leading one of the so-called Big Four globally. And I kind of thought, how are we going to get him to talk? You know, they can be very conservative and all the stereotypes and very careful, you know. But I have a surprise for you. And I also have a surprise for him because we've got some...
Oh, my goodness.
We digged up some stuff on him. And I'm really very excited. So let me tell you a little bit about our guest tonight. He's a lifer of PWC. Started his career there up to CEO. Very loyal, high performer, delivered in that business. And delivered so much so that a few years after being appointed CEO of the Southern Africa business, he was then promoted to lead the whole of Africa's business. He was the first black CEO in that business and one of the youngest because he achieved the CEO status in that business before the age of 40. And he continued to trailblaze. He's famous and well known for developing future leaders. And what I'm really excited about tonight is the fact that we are going to talk about a Pan-African leadership, culture, cross-culture. How do you make a difference across all of that? Dion is involved in many other leadership community roles where he's giving back, but he's also very passionate and proud. He had said in some of the interviews he's done before this one, that his biggest achievement is that of being a dad and a husband. So he's really a committed, humble family man.
Hello, my name is Dion Shango. I'm the senior partner and CEO for PWC Africa. What I'm hoping to get out of this evening is really some good quality time with my friend Nyimpini, talking about life lessons, talking about leadership, exchanging views, and learning, importantly, from members of the audience who hopefully will engage.
So ladies and gentlemen, join me as I welcome my guest tonight, the CEO of PWC Africa, Dion Shango.
Thank you, my darling. Wow, that was good. Thank you.
Welcome, bro.
Thank you.
Please
Thank
take
you.
a seat.
Thank you. Phew.
Yeah, it's good to finally have you here.
Indeed. I love your trousers, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much. Please
Aren't they great?
give a big hand to Chepa. They're the ones who dressed me. Just for control, I'll stand up so you can have a look. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You know, you don't give compliments to Nyimpini without it giving back to you. So Dion, let's start with, I suppose, one of the big events over the weekend, which was Moboko. They played France, and there was it was quite a defining moment for Sia, the captain. 100 games, but also for Rassi, 50 in charge. And the guys did very well. And I thought, I want to start there with you because I got to learn that during your high school years, you were a captain or an A rugby player for your high school.
Wow, you really did some digging.
And I was like, oh, interesting. Let's start there because I mean rugby and then it was a big game.
Yes.
I'm sure you were glued to your TV.
Absolutely. No, I'm a big rugby fan, like Nyimpini says. I played the sport. My favorite sports were probably rugby and football.
Yeah?
But the school that I went to, we didn't have football all the way to matric. Right? Rugby was the main sport. I played the position centre, if any of you are familiar with rugby. And I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
Some of my best memories were from playing rugby with my friends and just getting out there every Saturday. And so a real feature of my school day memories.
Yeah.
So always enjoy watching a Bok game.
Of course.
Especially when we win. And you
Which
know
is a lot of times.
And you know what we are like as Springbok supporters, right? We believe we have the God-given right to win every game, you know, and we get very upset when we don't win.
Yeah.
So Saturday was particularly sweet, especially given the manner of the victory, you know, with the red card.
With the red
everything
card,
else.
14 players.
All of that. All of that.
Fantastic. And so, you know, in my career internationally in South Africa around leadership, we tend to invite so-called motivational speaker or inspiration, and we invite a lot of sports stars to come and talk about the game. Because there's a lot of analogy and what you learn in leadership. Is there some of the things that perhaps you remember or you did as a rugby player or you learned there that is still serving you as a CEO today?
Sport for me has always been a fantastic metaphor for life. Yeah, almost any sport. Why do I value sports as almost a leadership tool or analogy? First of all, the whole principle of teamwork, right? Even for the so-called solo sports or individual sports, be it tennis or golf or anything like that, you need a team. Not only do you need a team, but you need the most solid, the best team that you can gather around you. People who are experts at what they do. How does that translate to leadership? You've got to surround yourself with people who are far smarter than you and do things much better than what you do. As a leader, as a smart leader, that's the first thing that you do. You seek out the people who you actually deem to be better than you. It sounds counterintuitive, right?
Yeah.
But that's really a secret of many leaders' success out there. So teamwork is one incredible principle that we learn in sport. Then secondly, the ability to persevere in the face of adversity. We joked earlier about how angry we get as box supporters every time we lose, right? But actually, a key part of leadership, Nyimpini, is realizing that we learn more when we lose or when we fail at something than when we win. But again, very counterintuitive and almost goes against the grain of how human beings think or how we behave.
Yeah.
Because no one goes to deliberately fail or lose, right? But that experience of losing, the pain that comes with that, can actually result in unbelievable growth, exponential growth,
Yeah.
from pain and failure, and remembering the pain of the moment, and almost vowing to yourself, my goodness, I'm never going to do that again. This is what I'm going to do differently next time.
Learning from that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So all very good lessons that one learns from sport, and how you can easily translate them not only to business or leadership, but to life.
Yeah,
more
yeah, in
generally.
general.
Yeah.
And it's good to have that work-life, anything integration.
Correct.
So that it's all sort of part of one ecosystem, because you don't bring a different you to the different phases of your life.
Exactly. It's impossible.
And that's where authenticity comes in.
We are not robots.
Yeah.
Right? So if I come in not feeling great, come in from home to the office, usually my PA can tell that something's not right.
Yeah.
I can do my best to try and leave whatever's bothering me in the parking lot when I get out of my car, but we are not robots, like you say. And the inverse applies as well.
Yeah. So Dion, you said it yourself in this thing that, and many leaders like saying, oh, I hire people who are smarter than me.
Yeah.
And then there's this inverse that says leaders love being the smartest in the room. How practically, because we're talking to leaders already here and upcoming leaders, and I think it's almost inevitable that you are going to lead people who are smarter than you, sometimes more experienced than you, or they can beat you in something. How do you not get intimidated by that and still add value in leading people that you perhaps think know more than you do in certain aspects, like practically?
Yeah. I think a lot of it has to do, Nyembini, with your own personal values as an individual, your own sense of self-worth as to who you are, what you are capable of, and how you relate to people. How do you relate to the person who is more experienced than you, right? How do you relate to the person who is smarter than you, in a way that leaves them feeling valued in how you treat them. Some people do believe they need to be the smartest in the room. That just doesn't appeal to me, but that's a personal preference and attribute. So we're not all the same, but there is significant power to be had in simply sitting back and listening as a leader. Just listen. How will you listen effectively if you are always the one doing the talking?
Yeah.
And wanting to be sounding the smartest?
Yeah, they always say you've got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Lose it in proportion.
Exactly. Exactly.
Which we don't often do.
And let me tell you, it's much, much harder to listen than to talk.
And beyond listening, just be present, because people value that. Sometimes you can pretend to be listening, but actually, as that happens, you're thinking of your response.
Correct.
Then you're not actually engaged.
You're not in the moment.
Yeah.
And
It's
engaging in what is often referred to as effective listening.
Yeah.
To use an old phrase.
Yeah.
But critically important.
Yeah. So do you have like, you talked about the resilience part of playing sports. And I've got my youngest, he's a sports fanatic and he plays a lot of sports.
Wonderful.
The toughest time I have with him is when his team has lost.
Yeah.
He cries, he's still getting matured and all of that. But let's talk about knocks that one gets in life. Do you have an example of something that you can share that went horribly wrong, or a failure you've had, and how did you deal with that, especially from a career point of view? Because sometimes I talk to a lot of up-and-coming leaders, and they're too afraid to try things because they feel like when they fail, the organization comes down hard on them and hold them on that failure. And it's almost like they've done what they call a CLM, career limiting move. How do you allow yourself to fail, where you said you learned a lot, or you learn a lot from failure, but that failure still lead to success when organization might think otherwise?
Yeah. I have a very interesting relationship with failure, Impini. I mean, I can share so many failures. Let me share maybe two. You did say this interview is also about many things that people don't know about you.
Yeah, sure.
So many people don't know that I took what I'd like to refer to as the scenic route
Yeah.
towards qualifying as a chartered accountant.
Yeah, we learned about that.
Scenic,
Very scenic, yeah.
I hope everybody knows what that means.
Yeah.
Basically, it means that it took me a couple of years to get my honors in CTA. It took me about 3 years of trying to actually attain the qualification through the board exam. Right? Throughout that period, I had people who I know and friends who gave up along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it really is about the individual and how they relate to failure and the impact it has on them. Does it necessarily mean that I'm stronger than everyone else? No. I think I was fortunate enough along the way to have so much support and encouragement, right? People who would put their arm around my shoulder to say, listen, it's okay, try again, right? So the old maxim of it takes a village to raise a child, I think it takes many, many people to create a leader or a successful professional, a sportsman, again, taking us back to that teamwork principle.
Yeah.
Right? So my village and my community were instrumental in helping me to overcome adversity. Another failure story I'm always keen to talk about. As a young partner, shortly after being admitted as a partner, I got assigned onto a new client for the firm, a small client. And after a couple of weeks, this client actually went to my boss and said, actually, we'd like to request a change in partner.
Wow. That's the worst for a partner, right? Yeah.
I thought it was the end of the world.
Yeah.
Right? And when I share that with some of our young managers, they say, absolutely no way. What do you mean?
Wow.
Right? And I remember being distraught when I heard the news and walking into my boss's office and really not knowing what to say or do, dying of embarrassment. Inside, humiliation. And guess what? He laughed at me.
He says it's happened to all of us.
He laughed at me.
Wow.
He said to me, listen, my friend, if you think this is the last time somebody's going to reject you or ask for you to be changed on a particular client, think again. Get over yourself and go and carry on with your day and stop feeling sorry for yourself. Right? But in that moment, I felt like an absolute failure and a disgrace to be a partner who's asked to step down from a particular client.
But as a line manager, Dion, on that, how do you create the psychological safety for that to happen? Because of course you also don't want too much failure that can be devastating to the business, but you want people to try. And I'm saying this also because businesses, a lot of your clients, reward people on revenue growth, profit growth, cash flow, things that are deemed to be successes. And you chase that. Experimentation can slow you down in delivering that in the longer term, but we reward quarterly, 6 monthly, annually. How do you create the balance for you as a leader?
Again, Yimpini, I'm going to give an extreme response here. For me, I don't know what the definition of too much failure is. So what is too much failure? Maybe just to clarify your question, right? I don't know.
So
my answer could be different to the audience. Let's take this for an example. How many times does a pharmaceutical company do research and try a new formula in coming up with a tablet or some form of solution that can heal a particular health issue? Thousands and thousands of times. And until they reach that one that actually they get right. Right? So what does too much failure mean? And yes, we need to take that with some moderation. It can't be about failure all of the time, every day, 5 days a week. I think I'm fortunate in that the organization that I work for is one of a very safe environment where you can fail. There are enough other people to pick up the pieces, rectify, and help us move forward. When you do fail, generally the first time you do get somebody who puts their arm around you and saying, listen, it's not the end of the world. Let's look at why the failure happened and let's agree on what to do in future, not to have it repeat. So the environment, the safety in the environment, like you said, Nyimpini, and the culture that has been built and inculcated in that environment is absolutely pivotal in order to have the right mindset towards failure. Again, Nyimpini, if there is no failure, how can there be any learning?
Yes.
My organization is we call ourselves a training institution, right? We take, generally, our model, we take graduates directly from university. They arrive as what I like to call rough diamonds. We take them, we shape them, we polish them, make them real sparkly in a way that the market out there can't resist them. After 3, 4, 5 years, they move onto greater opportunities out there. And so we are this conveyor belt.
So many organizations
in that way.
Many organizations tends to do that, right? Whether you look at FMCG or Unilever, Coca-Cola, or the consulting firms, recruit fresh from varsity and then mold you to become a leader.
Correct.
Not everyone makes it through that funnel. What have you learned about the difference between those who succeed and make it through to the top? And this time, not just being CEO, but C-suite or leaders, not just in that organization, but externally, versus those who don't. If you can pick up like 3 things that you've seen consistently for our leaders here to learn from.
No, for sure. And I love this question because, again, whenever I talk to some of our younger professionals, I say to them that in a team context, the people who I value the most in a team are not necessarily the ones who are the smartest or the loudest, right? They're people who always want to be seen to be having the answer. The people who I admire and value the most in a team are those with a never say die attitude. Those are the people, the fighters. Those are the people who don't allow adversity to get them down. Right? Those are the people, every time they fall, they simply get up, dust themselves off, and off they go again. That's what ultimately keeps an organization going. It's those type of people for me, and it's those type of people who are more likely than not able to find a path towards success or to the top. Generally, if somebody is the smartest, they would tend to be very opinionated, struggle to work in a team context, fail to understand when is it time for me to lead, when is it time for me to follow. A rare skill, Nyimpini.
Yeah, of course.
An absolutely rare skill. Even I have to know when it is time for me to follow. In fact, I think I probably follow more often than what I lead. Which is, again, counterintuitive, right? And so it is those type of people with the temperament, the EQ, the resilience, the mental fortitude. So it's the softer skills, guys. The skills are extremely difficult to teach or to automate. It's those people who I believe are generally destined towards
which
success.
I believe you've demonstrated very well over the years. You said they're difficult to teach, but as we build leaders in organizations, we have the responsibility to develop those skills.
Absolutely.
How did you develop them for yourself? Because, I mean, there's that transition, right? It's a sort of a tipping point where you grow in your career through your technical skills.
Correct.
Suddenly you become a leader, and now you have to pivot and become more of a generalist and be the leader of people.
Correct.
For yourself personally, what do you think were the defining moments, and how did you learn that?
So I'm a great believer in learning from observation.
Okay.
And I strongly believe that every single moment of the day,
Yeah.
particularly in a work context, is an opportunity to learn. You would be surprised how much I learn from people who are junior to me.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. And again, it surprises them when I share that with them. But certainly, as I was making my way through the ranks, those previous partners on, whose shoulders I stand on today, were incredible mentors and coaches who I just tried to sponge off as much as I can, observing them in a client situation.
Yeah.
Particularly the difficult situations, the calmness, the demeanor, the tone of voice, the emotional intelligence, the mannerisms, right? The steering a conversation, dealing with a client who is sort of extremely upset.
Yeah.
How do you, so...
Because you haven't signed off their financials.
You've missed the deadline. He hates the fee. All of those things, right? So learning from
an audit.
Correct. Learning from observation, from seeing, watching those who are more experienced than you. Absolutely critical.
Nedbank private clients get rewarded with greenbacks. Get up to 30% off on flights with Greenbacks Travel on Avo and up to 2% unlimited cashback on all Nedbank Amex card purchases. Plus, even more rewards on Fridays. Join Nedbank private clients today. See money differently. Nedbank.
You claim, and your team, some of your team members are here to be a team player. Yeah, your rugby days and all of that. But I learned that you and as a family, you and your 3 kids and your lovely wife, you love road trips.
Yeah.
And when it comes to music, during those road trips, you're not a team player. In fact, you and your wife hog the system. And for purpose of peace and not anyone's school fees and allowance being taken away, one of your kids told me that actually you guys just play your own music.
Okay.
You don't let them into the playlist. So is that what you would consider being inclusive?
You see, what we consider it to be is to teach them to deal with adversity.
So you are strengthening them.
Exactly. On the job training.
But I must give it to them because they've now come back and said the real issue is that, and this might surprise some people, you are huge with deep house.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Louis Vega.
Yeah.
Vinny Da Vinci. Christos. Are your favorites? Let me not go into your clubbing days. We said things that people don't know about you, right?
Yeah.
But you are so stuck in that generation of music that you failing to appreciate Amapiano. Despite your kids' best attempts.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
No, I need to improve my street cred in this area. And be more open-minded, right? So I'll take the criticism for today.
It's called feedback.
Feedback, constructive feedback. Okay. And I will be a lot more inclusive with the music that we play when we drive to the Cape this December.
Fantastic. Fantastic. What is it about road trips, though? It sounds painful driving to the Cape. And I know you've done that a couple of times.
Absolutely.
Is that your happy space? Is that your connection space?
I absolutely love it.
It only takes 2 hours to fly.
I know.
Or are you telling us you broke? Be honest now, many people are aspiring to be a
the
CEO.
Guys at the
now
firm,
they're meeting a broke CEO.
Partners don't earn much. Ask them. These are the guys who are overpaid,
Please don't use CEO nights for salary negotiations. This is not the platform.
I saw an opportunity. I thought I would take it. Sorry. Yeah, so it's an interesting habit of mine and of ours as a family.
Yeah.
Even though the kids don't have a say in the matter. It's a priceless opportunity for me to do such a trip. In that it takes us as a family, puts us in a vehicle. We are together in each other's spaces, in a captive type environment.
Quality time, yeah.
You know, it's quality time, but it's also a frustrating time. You know, the kids sometimes they argue and they fight, and we just learn to be with each other and survive one another for those 10, 12 hours, whatever the case may be.
Wow.
And it's just for me an unbelievable bonding session,
Yeah.
if I can put it that way, in a way that we get only to do once a year.
Yeah.
As a complete family.
Do you really get to relax? I mean, we live in a digital world. There's a lot of gadgets that we have. Email is coming in, phone calls, 24/7, angry client.
Indeed.
Do you switch off? I'm not saying completely.
Sure.
But do you really get to be present and recharge?
No, I would like to think that even they, my family, would say to you, during the December holidays, I do genuinely switch off. And I think that's why many of us in the room enjoy the December holidays.
Yeah.
For that reason, because the whole country shuts down, including our clients. We physically close our firm, you know, the days between Christmas and New Year. So I really go out of my way to switch off.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important. Otherwise, you won't be present
Yeah.
in the moment with the family on holiday.
One of the difficult things, Dion, and I speak to many leaders, that people struggle with is real empowerment and real trust, where I believe that aside from December, where there's shutdown, when I go away, do I trust people who are backing me or in my team to take over my responsibility and know that they will be okay and I can rest?
Yeah.
Or you start to have insecurity. They're going to show up better than me and threaten my job.
Yeah.
Client might like them better than me, and so on and so forth. And you really don't share.
That's it.
Empowerment as a leader
Yeah.
and true empowerment and giving responsibility is an issue, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, I so love and appreciate this point. If you had asked me, so I came into this role 1 July 2019.
Yeah.
If you had asked me at the time, and maybe before I make this point, at PWC we have what we call a partner sabbatical program. And what that means is that for every 10 years of service in the capacity of partner, you get 4 weeks off in a year. Yes, I know 4 weeks is a joke in comparison to what people consider to be a sabbatical, you know?
Yeah.
Sabbatical is 6 months, a year, sometimes.
Sure.
But we call it a sabbatical program. And it's something relatively new in that we introduced it, I think about 7 years ago. It wasn't always there. If you had asked me when I came in 2019 into this role, whether I would be able to take a partner sabbatical, I would have told you, Nyimpini, you are crazy. I mean, I'm the senior partner, the CEO. How dare I take sabbatical?
Yeah.
Who would lead the firm?
Wheels will come off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? Guess what? Last year, I actually took a sabbatical. Urged on by my COO, who himself took a sabbatical about 18 months prior. And by that time, in those 5 or 6 years of leading, I grew so much confidence in my team's ability to just execute and do what I've asked them to do. I placed faith in their ability to manage in my absence and for the firm to continue operating. So I took about 6 weeks off in total, I think just over 6 weeks.
Wow.
And I tell you, I came back. The guys will tell you the building hadn't fallen down. There was no fire. Nothing was destroyed.
Despite its shape, where it
you
looks
know,
like it might be.
In fact, people were so happy.
Yeah.
I was starting to believe that the firm was being better run in my absence than me being there. So it made me to start questioning my own relevance for a moment. But the point being that type of empowerment of your teams and of your leaders was a very, very important lesson for me too.
Let's talk about being tough and delivering tough messages. It's one of the things that many people aspire to leadership roles, but they don't always appreciate how difficult it can be when you have to deliver big transformational stuff like Section 189s, like bad news because you lost a big client,
Yeah.
and or bad news to the client who pays you. And you're like, I'm not signing off these numbers.
Exactly.
Conflict resolution and delivering tough messages, even when we have cordial relationships, it's not easy.
Yeah.
One, what advice would you give based on, you would have been in many situations like that, to upcoming leaders on how to handle that without messing up relationships? And two, how do you deal with that, the feeling of breaking someone's heart in a work context yourself when you're delivering such bad news? Because you're also human.
Indeed. Extremely difficult. And if there's anybody out there who would say to you that they enjoy conflict or conflict resolution, I think they would be lying to you. I happen to think that one of the traits that we have as PWC professionals is that many of us actually try and avoid conflict. I think it's a feature of most professional services firms. We're a people business, right? And conflict is never comfortable. But guess what? It's a necessary part of growth. It's a necessary part of being in a team. To deal with conflict requires experience, Yimpini. I think that is very important, number one. Number two, dealing with conflict requires utmost transparency and honesty. Be it with delivering a message to a client or a team member who's simply not pulling their weight, you have to tell it like it is, unfortunately. It is extremely difficult. Even today, I struggle sometimes with being in those moments where I have to share a negative message. But it is a necessary part of leadership that you have to be able to have the difficult discussions. Yes, sometimes relationships will be strained. But in how you deliver the message, in how you maintain your integrity, if you are honest and transparent, then I believe there is growth to be had even for that strained relationship once you get to the other side of the moment of conflict. So probably one of the most difficult parts of leadership is conflict and conflict resolution.
For sure.
The most challenging.
And it's always like work in progress, to your point. It's through experience and getting feedback and observing that one can grow that kind of trait. Getting to the top is very competitive because many people want that top job, want that big responsibility, they want that promotion. We operate in two sets or two spaces where one, we're collaborating, we're a team, but on the other side, we're also competing because we want that same job.
Exactly.
Talk to me about that.
How do you
stand out and how do you manage? I mean, sometimes it's easy retrospectively looking back, but do you kind of ever wonder and say, of all the people who could have been chosen to lead this firm, and clearly there are capable people, other people who could have done that, why did they pick you?
Why me? I ask myself that question almost every day.
Are you surprised?
I am.
You wonder if they smoke something.
You know? So it's always important to remember that in most organizations, including PWC, we are in a high performance environment. And that's the baseline. You are where you are because you've been identified as somebody who has the potential to be a high performer, working with other high performers, right? So you are already in this space where you are probably above average in terms of what you are able to deliver. So what else do you do to differentiate yourself? Right? One of the worst things you can do in Yimpini is to try and be something that you are not. I strongly believe in that. It is through showing up to the workplace every day, by being the real and authentic you.
Yeah.
That is how you start
Yeah.
differentiating yourself.
Sure.
Right? If you do try and become something you're not, it simply won't be sustainable, and people see right through that.
So you gotta be authentic. Yeah.
You've got to be authentic. You've got to be honest to yourself, and you've got to stay true to your own personal values
Yeah.
that got you to where you are today.
Yeah.
You've got to remember where you come from. Remember how you were raised, right? And almost think, my goodness, if my mother or my parents, my grandmother, whoever, were to see me behaving in this way simply because I want to get ahead, what would they think? What would they say, right? So I think staying true to who you are and where you come from is a critical part of it. Ultimately, I believe, Nimpini, you can never keep a good man or good woman down.
Yeah.
And those who don't behave in the right way will get what's coming to them eventually. Yeah. And I'd like to believe that in organizations such as ours, we are able to distinguish between good behavior, team behavior, and undesirable behavior.
Because over the years, you've seen it play out.
Again,
You've got
experience.
like over 300,000 employees around the world. You've almost like codified it, right?
Correct.
But that said, Dion, organizations are political.
Oh, absolutely.
And in getting to the top, there are those who will try and pull him or her down and backstabbing.
Yeah.
Do you always have to be watching your back, or you just have to do what's right, be ethical, and that will be seen?
Yeah.
Or you have to lay the foundation. People talk about networking, who you know, and being in the right spaces.
Yeah. In all spheres of life, we are all subjects of politics, right? Be it, I mean, you can say, I hate politics, I want nothing to do with it. Don't talk to me about the government.
Yeah.
You forget that you live in a country that's governed by laws and regulations.
Yeah.
Such that no one can come up to you and just assault you for no reason. You know, there's things you can do, steps you can take. So politics is a part of life. Yeah. Is there good politics and bad politics? Probably.
Yeah.
And yes, there are many political animals in any organization. But again, I believe that regardless of the situation, your personal values, the degree to which you are able to exhibit and demonstrate the organization's core values, if you do that consistently, that will triumph above any political maneuverings that, you know, some of your competitors, if I can use such a word,
for internal competitors,
try in order to get ahead of you.
Yeah.
And we know how to see it, we know how to spot who are the ones that are actually doing the things that we expect.
always get spotted, actually.
Exactly.
Because organizations are
much
quite
easier than what you would actually imagine.
And what they think,
Correct. But yes, politics is a fact of life.
Yeah.
But with the right type of leadership in any organization, the good people will always come through.
Talking about politics, and I've been watching lately the news, and your township, Mums, where you grew up, has produced CEOs, but it's also in the news for all the wrong reasons these days. How do you feel about that? I mean, but more specifically, what are some of the influences in who you are today as a leader that have come from growing up in Mamelodi?
Yeah. So, to answer your first question, it makes me feel bad. I don't feel good about it. I'm proud of where I come from. So, to have it be associated with negative news reporting, with things that don't necessarily build the country, no one can feel good about that. Yeah. So, certainly it is disappointing. But at the same time, I know that there is also so much good that comes from my hometown, if I can use that word. Many more leaders than who you've mentioned that are born out of there. But at the end of the day, it is a microcosm of society at large.
Yeah.
Right. And yes, we have our fair share of challenges in the country. And it's very easy to be negative as a South African these days, such as the number and the variety and the scale of some of our issues.
Yes.
But I think we all need to try as hard as possible to stay positive and believe in the future of this country.
So for what we have been gifted by the communities where we grew up, are we doing enough to help positive change? Or are we too comfortable with our high walls in nice suburbs with our security and drivers? What's your reflection on that as leaders? Because some of us have done very well, and we know what's going on in the townships where we come from and the villages. But our kids are in fancy schools. We have medical aid. We've got drivers and all of that. Life is good.
Exactly.
Or is it?
And it takes me back to that question you asked earlier about why me? Why you?
Yeah.
Why us?
Yeah.
Why are we the ones that get to enjoy these opportunities? And what about the rest who aren't as fortunate? We can always do more. We can always do more to be the change that we want to see, to go and play that role of being positive role models.
Yeah.
Where there's such a deep lack of role models in those communities. And I think it's incumbent on every single one of us to take every opportunity to do just that.
To make that difference, yeah.
And importantly though, the easiest thing to do to convince yourself that you're making a difference is to simply write a check and continue with your life. The harder thing to do is to actually invest your time, your availability, to go and spend with those who actually could value from engaging with you. And I think that is a challenge for all of us to try and take up as best as we can.
We have a section that we call Un-CEO-like. In this section, we've touched some of it, but these are the things that people go like, do CEOs do that?
Now I'm worried.
And we've dug up some stuff, but I got to learn that there was a CEO who was here who didn't know how to change a light bulb at home. And it's coming your way. There are people close to you that said that they didn't know you could use a lawnmower.
Oh, wow.
Until COVID. And like suddenly they had the lawnmower running and there you are and they were so worried about your safety.
Wow.
And then I probed a little bit further and said, what chores does it do at home? They said, and they just laughed. Tell me about the value add at home. Because apparently you can't even whip an egg.
Oh, wow. I think your sources are being a little economical with the truth.
Tell me more.
No, you see, when I get home, I like to spend my time engaging with my stakeholders at home. Sitting and finding out, how is it going with you?
Indeed.
Yeah, how was your day?
Yeah.
Tell me, what are you thinking about? You know? Chores get in the way. Chores get in the way. I'm very lucky though, I'm spoiled.
Yeah.
My wife is a good cook,
yeah,
if I can say that
myself.
We
spoke to her.
So
yeah, we have.
When you have somebody who's a far better cook than you tend to sit back.
You focus on, you're like, these are the areas of specialization and division of labor.
I like to leave it to the experts, guys. So
you tried your expertise with a lawnmower.
Yeah. What they forgot to tell you that I do enjoy lighting a fire.
Yeah, they did say. In fairness, you do make the braai.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, thank you. Sure. At least one thing. Yeah?
Yeah, no. That came out very, very nicely. Yeah.
But those COVID days were something else, yeah?
Yeah, no, absolutely. The other thing that we got to learn, and we thought, let's prove this, because, you work for an audit firm, professional services, and you pride yourself in integrity and the truth, nothing but the truth, telling it like it is. So we have stereotypes about accountants.
Yeah.
And they told us that, you know what, it's hard to believe, but this man can dance. So DJ, give it to me. They say you've got this signature move that you're going to demonstrate to us. And I believe that this is one of your favorite songs. Plus, let's encourage him.
What song is this? Oh, wow. Is it?
Yeah, Louis Vega.
That's what my kids, that's what they tease me.
Okay. Do you give him a 10 out of 10?
Get a dedicated relationship banker, preferential rates, 100% home loans, travel and lifestyle perks, and access to wealth solutions. Get the complete private banking experience. Digital when you want it, human when you need it.
Okay, I'm Luvuyo from Stellenbosch Business Institute.
Hi, Luvuyo.
I love the fact that you said we really need to spend time with the community to help uplift people. What would you say about fears or excuses that people have, when thinking about spending time? Things like, I'm going to be taken advantage of if I do that. The need is so great, I can't help everyone.
Yeah.
What would you say about that?
Yeah. Luvuyo, that's such an important question, right? And we are all like that, including myself. I think it's important to be honest and vulnerable here. Those are real fears, and especially people who are in leadership, you question how much is the right amount of time.
Yeah.
Because already many of us wish we could spend more time with our families even, right? I, for one, for instance, have significant feelings of guilt about the amount of time I spend with extended families. And I think you and I have spoken about this before.
Yeah.
Right? Because of the lifestyles that we lead and the lives that come with being in leadership, being in business. So I think it probably depends from individual to individual. Ultimately, you need to look in the mirror and say, look, of all the opportunities I had, of all the spare time that I could give, I tried my best to give as much as possible. Yes, you will always get some bad apples, people who do try to take advantage, but those shouldn't sort of dampen your spirit to want to do the right thing. Those would be the fewer number of people than the vast majority you would deal with. Yeah. But great question. Thanks for that.
Thank you so much, Luvuyo. Next question.
Thank you so much for your speech. My name is Musa. I run my own small primary healthcare firm. I just wanted to ask, as a leader of a professional services organization, and with the rapid growth of AI, I wanted to ask, where do you see, from a futures perspective, whether it's PWC, Deloitte, KPMG, whatever, where do you see the relevance of organizations like yours in the next couple of years, considering that AI can sort of do what you guys do, and maybe even faster?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you, Musa. And before I answer your question, deep respect to you for running a small business and much admiration. How much time do we have? Because you can imagine this question.
120, but it depends on whether you can allow us another 5-10 minutes.
I've got all the time in the world.
All right, perfect. So it's up to you.
Musa, we can spend the whole day talking about this, right? So what do we know as we sit here today? We've already seen that our clients are doing so much more by themselves, leveraging AI, before they call us. So definitely the game has changed, right? Something has shifted. Clients have so much more knowledge, capability, tools at their fingertips that they perhaps didn't have 3, 4, 5 years ago. So we are already starting to see that. And oh, by the way, our clients are telling us that, guys, I do a lot more myself before I call you. So that is here today, not even about relevance tomorrow. What does this mean for us? So I strongly believe that AI is not going to be the thing that takes Nyimpini's job. If Nyimpini is a professional at PWC or any of the professional services firms. What's going to take Nyimpini's job is the person who uses AI better than Nyimpini. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what that compels us to do as PwC is to make sure we invest as much as we can in the upskilling of our people as PwC and make sure that we equip them with the best training, the best toolkits, the best resources, and all that they need in order to upskill themselves with regards to AI and being AI natives, if I can call it that. That is the challenge for all organizations out there. It's less about the technology or what it can do. It's about us as the people. How do you train, inspire, encourage people to use it in a way that will not only make them more productive, but actually propel us forward as an organization. And for me, it's a numbers and scale game, right? We are investing heavily, the guys will tell you, in PwC this year, in upskilling. And it starts right from the top with our partners. It has to be a partner-led initiative.
Yeah.
And this old mantra about no, technology is only for the young people and the partners ignore it, we don't even tolerate that.
Yeah.
It has to be partner-led and the right tone at the top has to be set. As I conclude in answering you, what we envision for a PwC in 2030 and beyond, PwC will probably feel a lot more like a technology company than what it is today, but a technology company that just so happens to have certain skills, capabilities, knowledge that it makes available to clients through technology and leveraging technology in delivery. What does that mean? We will be using agents as a key aspect of our workforce and will be much more of an agentic workforce, where we harmonize the machines, the agents, with people. The agents will do much of the cumbersome tasks, and the role of people will be fundamentally different.
Yeah.
How do you interpret the output that comes out of the machines?
Yeah.
And how do you make sense of it and engage with the client on that basis?
I read that you've got something called, is it SATEC or something?
Yes.
Is that part of
SATEC,
preparing yourself for that future?
partly. What SATEC is that it's a delivery center where, as part of contributing towards the alleviation of unemployment in the country, we partnered with our UK firm, PwC UK, to form SATEC, which stands for South African Technology Innovation Center, to employ people who didn't have jobs previously.
Okay.
To have them and help us deliver consulting services for the UK firm.
Oh, I see.
At a cost that is much lower for them.
Yeah.
And so have this win-win impact of us being a low-cost center of delivery of services.
It's a big opportunity in the BPO space.
Absolutely.
Hi, my name is Naledi Maime. I'm a risk
Naledi.
analyst at Munich Re of Africa. My question is, what is a leadership trait that you learned only when you became a CEO that you wished you knew earlier on in your career?
Wow.
They do ask difficult questions. I should have warned you. That is why I don't answer in.
I actually love that question. So the one thing that I learned only once after being in leadership, is the degree to which I don't always get my way, Naledi. And it almost taught me the lesson that as a leader, people think of you as the boss, but in reality, you work for everyone else.
Yeah.
Right? So patience is part of it, and the ability to accept that not everything will go your way at the time that you want it to happen, so to speak. So difficult to put into one word as
Yeah.
such, but just that patience of, you know, if it were up to me, I would just wave a magic wand
Yeah.
and all of my objectives would be met. Working with people requires a skill, and it's a bit of a dance sometimes. And you go, a different one to what I try to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a better dance. Yeah, but just to build on that question, it's often said, and I've heard this being repeated many times, that the changes that the world has seen impacting how we lead and leadership in the last 10 years has been much more far-reaching than the changes in the previous 50 in the world.
Yeah.
And I think, even 5-year strategies, 10-year strategies have been thrown out because agility is one of those big things, how to course correct as you go. For me personally, it's something that I've had to learn to say, I'm doing the 5-year strategy now, but actually, if it's 60% right, I'm lucky. But I still have to be focused on the goal and the agility. And I think the changes we probably will see in the next 10 will be even more faster than the last 10.
Absolutely.
How do you navigate such environment? Because I mean, it's not just VUCA, it's VUCA times 3.
Yeah. And the best way to answer that, guys, is to say, we don't know.
Yeah.
We simply don't know. We are figuring out as we go along.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, what COVID did to the world, right? It seems like an eternity ago, but goodness me, that was a scary time.
Yeah.
And all leadership management teams around the world had to figure out what to do. There was no playbook to refer to.
Yeah.
There was no business school textbook that you could go back to because the last such event happened 100 years ago. So I think being open-minded, Impini, is critical. The ability to absorb and consider new information that becomes available, the impact on our long-term plans and strategies, and that flexibility of mind to say, okay, fine, guys, we need to quickly, as you said, course correct and change tact here.
The ability to say, I don't know, let's go find out, or let's work it out together.
Exactly.
Because one of the other big changes just this year is the executive orders and the tariffs. The amount of impact and change to international trade in just 6 months is unprecedented.
Exactly.
And yet we still have to continue leading. And I think that's the future of rapid change. And AI is just another one that we don't actually know how much impact it's going to have in 12 months from here.
A leader has so much thrown at them today.
Yeah.
You know, a leader has to be able to thrive in all of the uncertainty that this results in.
Yeah.
I don't think we are satisfied with the amount of time we spend with our families.
Speak for yourself.
Okay. Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
I must take notes from this man. So God,
No, we're not. Hardly.
I mean, Nyimpini spoke about work-life integration earlier. You do the best that you can, but it is so easy to get it wrong, right? I remember, and I've shared this on one of our town halls we had at work. I remember one day my wife saying to me, so I had this propensity of coming home and sitting with my laptop in the lounge as we watch TV, and one day she said to me that, you know, do you realize how disconcerting it is for you to come home? And yes, in your mind, you're telling yourself that you are sitting with me, watching TV, but you are on your laptop. You tell yourself that you are multitasking, but you are not present in the moment. Right? I mean, I've been doing that for years, and I saw nothing wrong with it. And until she said that, it was a big wake-up call for me about, we talk about how we show up at work, but how do we show up at home? Right? I mean, we already spend so much more time with our work family members than our real family members.
Yes.
How do we show up at home and actually be there, present in the moment, and fully so? So I think it's a constant challenge for each individual to continuously improve the degree to which you can be there, because there's no way we spend enough time with them. That's just the nature of the beast, I guess. And it's a challenge that just never ends.
Yeah. But to create that environment where you can have tough conversation with your children or your partner, wife, and they can give you that feedback, I think it's also important. Because sometimes it can also be intimidating.
Indeed.
And it's like, I'm sitting here, I'm paying your school fees, do not disturb.
Exactly. and the kids are probably going, you think paying my school fees is like a benefit? Like,
exactly. You know, I didn't ask to be here. Last question.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm Nolu from PWC SATEC. I would like to highlight that I've come here with my colleague Harriet.
These are my people.
Yes. So I actually had a similar question to the one that Musa raised about the use of AI, especially because we saw Deloitte trending just a few weeks ago over the misuse of AI, and they had to pay the Australian government over $400,000. So I really was interested in what is PwC doing to ensure that the professionals are adequately equipped with the skills of correctly using AI. Indeed. And I think you touched on that in your previous answer. So my main question now is just to ask, what was the most defining moments in your career that really influenced your current leadership style?
Maybe if I can quickly just add on to that AI piece. So this whole concept of responsible AI has driven the way in which we look at it as a firm, and hence we create or have created the safe platform of, we call it Chat PWC.
Okay.
Which is sort of a more contained, much more secure platform that we make available for our people to use, built on a sort of ChatGPT type framework. But those risks are ever present, right? What happened to Deloitte could happen to any of us, to be fair. And we just need to be vigilant as professional services firms and anyone else who uses AI to produce deliverables for clients or customers. We just need to go out of our way to make sure that we vet the output that comes out of the machines as best as possible. That is probably one of our biggest risks. So the most defining moment that defined my leadership style, it's probably a series of moments and realizations. Again, early on in my career as a partner, when I started realizing that this title of being partner is actually less about my technical skills or my intellect, and more about people management. I felt in those early days that I was more of a teacher and a mentor than an audit partner. I realized that I was spending so much time with people simply wanting to come and sit opposite me in my office to talk about whatever, about the difficulties that they're experiencing, about wanting to learn from my journey and my experience. And it was quite odd and interesting for me, likening myself to a teacher, because my mother was a teacher. So that was quite interesting for me. And I remember sharing this with her, that it was quite a coincidence. I wasn't trained to be a teacher, but like we often say at the office, Nolu, we are a people business. And I actually believe that all businesses out there are people businesses.
People business,
At the end of the day, right? We are here to work together, My job is to do the best I can to inspire you to bring your very best to the workplace every day, and in doing so, to bring the most authentic version of yourself in how you come in. So it was that realization. Nobody ever warned me about that, but it was an interesting realization that to this day informs how I lead and how I interact with people. I hope that answers the question. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you. I mean, that's all we have time for in terms of the questions.
Is that it?
You want more?
I'm used to people firing missiles at me at the office.
Oh, wow. Okay. A bonus question.
2 bonus questions.
2 bonus questions. He definitely wants more. So, yeah. 1, 2. And then we close. Because otherwise, his dear wife she's cooked his dinner. And she will not forgive me for him coming home late.
All right, cool. Mine is not really a question, it's a comment.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Kagazina Matebula. I was with Umam Sheli maybe 3 weeks ago, and she spoke really highly of you. And I am really happy to meet you in person. You know, she was singing your praises.
But
It was
no,
no, she was not paid.
he's the boss.
And I'm like, I even
In
asked
South
her,
Africa, she's my boss.
who is this Dion that you keep referring
Africa,
to?
my boss.
Okay, cool.
I'm like, who is this Dion that you keep referring to? Who's doing so much good deeds? You know, for you as a female CEO, it was really impressive to hear, you know, someone speaking so highly of their boss. It was quite impressive. So keep doing whatever you are doing. Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Amazing.
No, look, I mean,
then the
thank
final
you.
question.
Thank you for that. And I mean, just quickly on that, we haven't even talked about diversity and inclusion.
No,
in its
we
core.
haven't. There's only so much can cover in an hour.
And I like to
You can
share
come
with
back.
people that. There you go. I was raised by strong women
Yeah.
in my family. Yes, I had a father as well who, you know, was part of my family. But the role that women in particular played in my upbringing, my tutelage, and in shaping who I am today is something that I always need to pay homage to. Yeah.
And just on that, so much so that you had to find a woman as soon as you could. I believe that while other people were busy with their studies, you proposed or you got your wife as a girlfriend while she was doing first year at university. And since then, you're still together. First year. You needed support that quickly.
University sweethearts. What can I say? You know? I don't know how she tolerated me all these years, but here we are. I'm a very fortunate man.
Very loyal indeed. Lifer at PWC, lifer
At home.
at home. Love it.
I've never thought about it that way. Thank you.
Love it. We should write a book on loyalty. Last question.
Good afternoon. I'm Garrett Webster from Sustainabridge.
Hi, Garrett.
Wanted to know, in light of G20 that's happening now, what do you see PwC's role in helping South Africa and in Africa, you know, because this is Africa's G20, not just South Africa, you know, translate the complex policy issues and into tangible benefit for not only your clients, but also for the community.
Indeed. So thank you for that, Gareth. And as you would expect, a brand like ours needs to be seen to be playing its role with regards to platforms such as G20. So we have been closely involved from a B20 perspective, Business 20, as one of the knowledge partners. Our efforts have been spearheaded by Shirley, representing us. And really, when we think of our societal impact or societal purpose strategy, which is aligned to 7 of the SDGs, we think it's crucially important for us to be supportive of B20, G20, and actually contribute towards some of the alleviation of some of the greatest challenges facing the African continent. So this is something that we see as being integral to our purpose and us bringing our purpose to life. I like what you say about this is an Africa B20, G20, because this societal impact strategy is actually something we roll out Africa-wide and not just in South Africa. So there's a lot of congruency and similarities there. Yeah.
Fantastic. We have to cut it there. Thank you so much. Thinking about the closing message, I'd like for you to give some tough love to the audience, because sometimes we obviously give good advice, constructive advice, but sometimes there's that advice that you have to give that people don't want to hear.
Yeah.
You know? But it's important
Yeah.
as growing professionals.
Yes.
What would that be? And capture that together with your closing remarks.
You know, guys, Nyimpini said something earlier. He said, why me? Right? So I do believe that I'm where I am today because I was at the right place at the right time. But also, sadly, I strongly believe that certain people who grew up in the firm, like me, actually left the firm for varying reasons. But a lot of those reasons were around, this place just doesn't do it for me. It's too difficult. Perhaps a robust relationship with a manager or partner or something. But it always breaks my heart to see people leave organizations, but in the process actually leaving people and not leaving the organization.
Yeah.
Yeah, people leave people. People don't leave organizations. And that always breaks my heart because the person shuts themselves off to finding a different way, a different avenue to resolve or get over the challenge. And my tough love to you is simply that, guys, don't let the challenges get you down. And always remember that when it's feeling uncomfortable, when it's feeling painful, that's where we experience the greatest growth. So let's remember that, you know, greatness does lie at that edge of our comfort zones. If we can all just try and practice that as much as possible, and persevere through the pain and hardship, the adversity,
Yeah.
I promise you, you will be unstoppable as an individual.
Big round of applause. Dion for president. Follow up on YouTube, subscribe, and thank you for being here with us, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you, Dion.